What's going on, guys? Back at you with another video today. And in today's video we're going to be doing a man bun with a skin tight fade, and we're also going to be doing some beard work. So in this particular video the hair is already sectioned out. We're going to start off with our Andis MVPs and the magnetic #2 guard, and we're going to begin to disconnect the bottom from the top that has already been sectioned out. Definitely want to thank everybody for the channel and the growth of the channel. Thank you all for sharing and liking these videos, and continue to get active in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see next. So you can see when I get towards the top, I'm not really digging into the hair that's already sectioned off. I just get towards the top and I take it right to that edge, and I'm going straight up off the head. But you want to make sure you take it all the way up to that line. So here I'm using the Andis MVP with the 000 blade, and I'm going to create my first guideline to start doing the bald fade or the skin fade on the bottom. So a lot of barbers usually try not to make this even all the way around or make the same pattern on both sides of the head. I think it's important to. I mean, you know, the details make the difference in my opinion. So you want to make sure that you make it even all the way around when you're setting up that first guideline, because that's the basis of the haircut. That's going to guide you throughout the entire haircut. Here we're using the Andis Masters with the lever all the way open. And we're going to create our second guideline about 1/4 of an inch up, and that's going to blend down into that 000 that we just created. You really can't be afraid to raise this, guys. I know, you know, when I was starting out, I was really afraid to raise this particular part of the haircut, because I was afraid I was going to raise the whole fade. But if you don't give yourself enough space to blend, then you're just you're shooting yourself in the foot. You got to make sure you leave yourself enough space to blend, so there's not, you know, you're not working in a confined space, and then the blends don't come out as good. They don't come out as blurry or, you know, as precise. So just give yourself space to blend. Don't be afraid to raise this particular part of the haircut or this section of the haircut up a little more. So now that I've created this guideline, I'm going to start closing the lever on the side of the master. There's little notches. You're going to start closing the lever notch by notch and working your way all the way down until you have it fully closed, and that will blend right into that 000. Also happy to announce, guys, that not only the channel has had amazing growth, but Headlines as a company, as a team, as a culture is growing at a phenomenal rate. happy to announce that the Land O'Lakes section opened, or the Land O'Lakes barber shop opened, excuse me, not section. That's our 5th location, which is amazing. So we appreciate all the love from our clients. And if anybody wants to stop in, I'm there on Saturdays. Be more than happy to stop in, and I'd be more than happy to meet you, or you can shadow, and I'll help you out. We're also closing in on our 6th location in St. Petersburg, and really looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. So here I'm using the Andis Masters with the lever all the way open, and I'm using the magnetic number 1 guard. We're going to start blending into that number 2 that we created, where we disconnected the hair from the top. This 1.5 will blend right into the number 2. Then we're going to start closing the lever just like we did when we were blending the 0 out, notch by notch, until we work that notch close, or that lever all the way closed, which would be the equivalent to a number 1. Now we're doing the same thing, repeating the process on the other side of the haircut. You gotta be real careful too when you're doing salt pepper hair. There's a lot of shadows that you can't really see within the hair itself, so it makes it really hard to blend. You gotta make sure you use your mirrors and just look at it from all angles. The more you look at it, the more you can pick up on any imperfections, which will help you get that flawless blend. So here I'm using the Andis Magnetic 0 guard with the Andis Masters, the lever all the way open, and that'll blend right into that number 1. And again, we're going to close it notch by notch until we have it all the way closed, and that should blend right into the half. And yes, I've had a couple people comment on previous videos about the master being a number 1 with the lever all the way open. It's somewhere in between is the honest answer. It's not a half and it's not a 1. It's a little bit under a 1. Here I'm doing the same thing on the back. And you guys can fade any way that you feel comfortable. I mean, there's 1,000 ways to draw a picture. As long as you get the same result, everybody's happy. That's the idea. That's what everybody wants. So you can see I fade one side, then I fade the other side, then I fade the back. Sometimes I'll fade all the way around. I'll do the steps all the way around. It just kind of depends on the hair, the texture, honestly what kind of mood I'm in, whether I'm bored and I just want to do it a little bit different. Here I'm using the Andis MVPs again, and I'm using the 5-0 blade, which is the equivalent to your Andis t-outliners. So this is what I use to bald, and I'm balding out the very bottom of the haircut. You want to be careful not to dig with this, because this is a pretty close blade. Definitely be careful around the ears. Use your corners around the ears and stuff like that. And like I said, just don't dig, just let the clipper do the work. You guys can see it just about every pass. I'm always brushing. It's important to get all that hair out of the way and have a clean picture of what you're doing. So here I'm using the Andis t-outliners, and I'm going to start to do the edge. This particular client did not want to edge in the front, so I'm just edging the sides. What you want to do with your edgers is you want to use the corners of the blade almost like a pencil, and it's just like drawing. You're just drawing a line and you're using the edge or the corners of the blade as your drawing tool.
Rice and beans made this baby.
So here I'm going to start doing that beard, and just like a haircut, you want to create a guideline. You want to create a point of reference. I always start underneath the chin, depending where they want it, on the jawline or underneath the jawline. I always start in the center, and I create my guideline, and then I match the sides to that center. That way I'm not all over the place and having an uneven line. So I start in the front of my client. I create that guideline right underneath the chin or in the center, and then I work both sides towards that guideline. Now when I'm doing this, removing this hair from his neckline, I'm being very careful not to dig the clipper or move too fast, because I'm not stretching the skin. As you can see on this side, I'm stretching the skin and I'm moving a little bit faster. You definitely want to make sure you stretch the skin, and if you're not going to stretch the skin, don't just go at a crazy speed or rate, because you can pull it. It's a tender spot. It can get irritated easily. The hair is very coarse. I'm trimming the mustache here. He wanted to keep everything very natural, so I'm just trimming around his mustache on the bottom just to clean it up so it's not hanging over his lip. And here I'm just blending the top of the beard or the sideburns right into that bald fade. So the same process. I'm starting with a number 1, and then I'm using the 0 guard, and then I'm using no guard, and I'm blending it right into that 0, closing the lever notch by notch. As I close those notches and remove those guards to lower guards and eventually have no guard, obviously I'm not digging into the beard too much, and I'm more blending into the top of the sideburn into that 0. So here I'm using the best shave gel in the market, Tomb 45 shave gel. Hands down the best shave gel in the market, made by barbers for barbers. You can get your 8-ounce bottle for $6 at www.tomb45.com. This stuff is amazing, guys. Flat out amazing. Better ingredients than the competition at a better price. I mean, you can't beat it. So I usually start, I create my guideline
Rice and beans made this baby.
and the shape I want, how I want to do the beard. Excuse me. Here I had one of the barbers hold the camera for me just so I can get a little bit of a closer, get you guys a closer look and a better angle. So sorry if it's a little bit unstable, but I think he did a pretty good job. And then a lot of times I will ask my clients to blow a bubble, and that helps create that C-cup shape and create a sharper line. Like I said, 1,000 ways to draw a picture. That's just my opinion. That's what works for me. You always want to make sure you wipe that excess gel off, because you can see it leaves a sharp line. It looks good to you as the barber, but as soon as the client gets home and washes their face or wipes that off, it's not going to look as good, and it may be uneven. So it's a little bit of a smoke and mirror situation. Again, it's all in the details, guys. Here I'm using the shaver on the bottom, the andis shaver, pulling the skin tight. And with these shavers, just like the clippers, you don't want to press or be too abrasive with it. Just let the shaver do the work. So here's the final product. As usual, I want to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure you share, you like this video, and get active in the comments. Let me know what you want to do next. Appreciate it.